Welcome to How It Works, a video series from Law Sites and Law Next, in which you get to see hands-on demonstrations of legal tech products directly from their developers. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the Neos case management platform and specifically its built-in suite of AI tools, NeosAI, all from the company Assembly Software. Joining me today to tell us about it is Bryan Billig, Vice President of Customer Education at Assembly. Bryan,
Hi,
welcome
Bob.
back to the How It Works show.
Thank you for having me back. I feel like we must have done something right to earn a second invite. Thank you.
Well, you were here back in August of last year, not too long after you first rolled out Neos AI to tell us about some of its capabilities. Apparently, you've been hard at work since then, developing enhanced capabilities and further capabilities. So happy to have you back. And before we kind of get into what's new, maybe you can kind of give us a recap of what is Neos AI? What is this all about?
So Neos is a case management platform, a browser-based case management platform to help attorneys at all different types of law firms keep track of all of their cases, their tasks, their clients, what needs to be done, and make all of that simpler, more efficient as best as possible. And obviously AI has become, this massive tool in all industries, but is definitely sort of creeping into the legal industry. And I choose that word carefully because my perspective is that AI is a tool, just like anything else a lawyer can use. It can be used really well and really effectively, and it can be used very poorly too. So whenever I demonstrate this stuff, I like to point out, sort of the proper and best practices for taking advantage of these things to make things easier in a better way for your clients.
Which is that you need to keep the human in the loop.
Human in the loop. Absolutely. My go-to is that AI didn't get a law degree, didn't go to law school, has no paralegal certification, just like any of the other software tools that you use. It's something there to make your job easier, but it's still your job. So last time we spoke, we got into the basics of like document summary and generation and extraction, basically taking documents and consuming that information and making it usable within your case management platform. And we've kind of taken that a step farther. Do you want to dive in?
Let's dive in. Looking forward to seeing it.
Let's do it. I'm going to share my screen here. All right, so this is the main Neos screen, and I'm going to go to a case. And I kind of played a game with you today because instead of me using the same old documents that I use for all of my demos, I asked you to send me a document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this document to our system here, while if you would be willing, you can tell people what it is that you actually sent me.
Well, what I sent you was the ethics opinion written by the American Bar Association late last year, last summer, I guess it was, on the legal ethics of using generative AI in law practice.
I am fascinated to see what our system makes of this document. All right, upload and analysis is complete. So I showed you this before, and I'm going to show it to you one more time real quick so we can see what we're dealing here. ABA Formal Opinion 512. Let's go ahead and open up kind of the back end of this document, and what we have is a summary. So it consumed that entire document. You said it was, about 15 pages? And breaks it down to a paragraph that just explains what's happening in this document. And then it's got a couple of extracted quotes of what it identifies as the most important areas of that document. But this is still a lot to go through. This is an important opinion, and it's got a lot of details. So one of the new features that's available to our clients now is the concept of a NeosAI Chat. So if I go ahead and click our little Chat with NeosAI button here, he introduces himself, and we're going to pick a document, because this is the concept at the moment, is that you pick a specific document that you want to talk to the chat about. And the first thing it's going to do is give us that summary. So here's the overview, and here's a rundown of what was included in that document in a much shorter form. But I imagine you guys are dealing with AI questions all of the time, right? So if you haven't had the ability to review this ethics opinion yet, give me a question that you might ask about this document.
What is a rule of professional conduct that lawyers should be aware of when using generative AI?
It's stressful typing while somebody is watching, and I'm impressed that I only had one typo in that whole run. So we're going to ask that question. It's going to consume the question, and it's going to give us a response. Lawyers should be aware of Model Rule 1.1, which obligates them to provide competent representation to their clients. This includes understanding the benefits and risks associated with the use of generative AI tools in their practice. If I had to boil my advice regarding AI down to 2 sentences, that would be it.
That's pretty good.
It's great, right? So imagine you've got all of these large documents like that, but some of them are, judges' rulings or, medical chronologies or, all of these things that have to be consumed. Let's be clear. You still have to read them. You still have to go through and read them yourself. But this can give you a head start. You can ask it questions about what's in the document, where it is in the document, jump straight to those areas. And if this is related to a case, you have the ability to copy that chat right to the notes of the case so that any questions you ask and any answers you get are then stored in the case forever. So what's really cool is that Neos is built on top of Microsoft's platform. So we have access to all of Microsoft's AI tools, and they're coming out with new features constantly, just like all the AI companies are. But it's our job to look at all of these tools and try to figure out useful, functional ways to build them into a case management platform so that they are helpful to attorneys and paralegals and case managers and people handling all types of legal cases across the country. So AI Chat is one of them. I hope you liked it, and now I'm ready to move on to the next. You ready?
Let me ask you a quick question on AI Chat before you move off it.
Please.
When engaging with the chat, you selected the document that you wanted to chat with. Is there any capacity to select more than one document, or is that something that you're planning to do at some point?
Planning to do at some point. At the moment, what we're doing with our AI features is we're taking slow, careful steps when we're rolling out this functionality. So the way that this works now is pick a document so we can make sure that we give you very accurate, proper responses for that document. But yes, we continue with every single release we've had since we rolled out NeosAI. We've had more AI features. We've expanded the capability. We continue to expand the size of the documents that are able to be consumed. So yes, I expect that to grow.
Thank you. We can move on.
Thank you. All right. So what I'd like to do next is quickly talk about the concept of AI prompts. Are you familiar with AI prompts? What they are, kind of how they function?
I use them all day.
Awesome. All right. So we'll assume that the large majority of your viewers are also familiar, and we'll do a brief explanation for those that might not be. But the prompts are basically the questions that you ask an entity like ChatGPT. Can you create this for me? What is that? Or, based on these parameters, how do I XYZ, right? Well, what we've done is when we first rolled out NeosAI, we had prompts built into the system for our generative documents. We have since opened that up. So our users now have the ability to write their own prompts from within Neos. So let's go back to Neos here. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to real quick go to my settings, and I'm going to go down to, I've got 2 things, AI prompts and AI tags. Prompts are what Neos administrators can build to communicate with that AI chatbot. If you want, you can limit your staff to only certain responses, or you can leave it wide open like I demonstrated. So Neos administrators can choose what questions are appropriate for their staff to be asking the chatbot. AI tags are the ability to take an AI prompt and put it into a Word document. So if I open up my AI tags, I created one for you already today, and that is the summarize case tag. So let's edit that and it's going to show us what our prompt is. So for this prompt, what I did is I said, write a summary of this case, including important dates, staff, medical expenses, and all the important information an attorney would need to know. And then I get to choose what areas of the program the AI has access to in order to answer that question. So I've given it access to the accident info, the case data, the case notes, the insurance, the party, the police, and the value. So this is the prompt that I've written. And what I've done is I've coded it into a Word document that I can then create in any of my cases. So this is a big case here. We've got a big MVA case that's been going on for a while. I've got lots of documents, lots of financial entries, medical bills. There's all sorts of things happening here, right? So what I can do is I can give that generate with AI a click. I'm going to go down to up to my case summary document, and it's going to give me another chance to kind of look at the things that I've done here. What is my tone? What is my length? But I pre-baked all of this for you. So we're going to go ahead and generate it. It's done. I can review it, make any changes I want, but really I just want to show you the document. Whenever you generate using AI with Neos, you're going to get this pop-up, and it's just what we've talked about. This is a tool. It's here to help. Make sure you take a look. So let's go ahead and generate a full summary of this case. And it's done. One click, share this tab instead. Tell me if you can see that. There we go. All right. And you saw how fast that was, right? Mm-hmm. And I spent a lot of time talking about the setup, which only needs to happen once. Once you're in a case, this is like 3 clicks. So I know the name of the case, who's assigned to it, the summary of the case, important dates, significant medical expenses, just like a quick one-pager on exactly what is happening in this case using AI.
So these tags enable you to do something in fewer clicks that you probably could do otherwise, but in a more manual way and with more clicks and more having to make more choices about what you want to choose from and what you want to look at.
Exactly. Yeah. The concept is, once again, it's a tool. Instead of you going through all of these different areas of the program and kind of getting up to speed, like literally a call could come in, and before your receptionist transfers the call to you, this is fast enough to run a full case summary for you, so you know exactly what's happening with the case from the data spread, wherever it is in the case, all now in one central location.
And the prompts are created on an admin level. The tags are both admin and user level?
Exactly. So if you want to make it as easy as possible for the users, I recommend the admins get really good at this and bake it so it's all basically off the shelf, so that the user, whenever they want to use a prompt or a tag or generate a document full of different AI tags, because you can put as many as you want in there, all of that's done, and they just get to select it from a dropdown.
And how do you do that how do you use multiple tags in a single document? Is it you do that, all of that before you've created the document, or is that something after you've created a document you can add in additional?
Exactly. Tags? So here are the steps. You come up with the prompt, the question that you want to ask, right? And you turn that into a tag. And then you code a template, just like lawyers have been doing for decades now, is going into Word and sort of coding the back end of the template. But instead of saying, put in the case number, put in the client's name, put in the, staff assigned, you say, use this prompt that I already created. You can create 3, 4, 5, 10 of those, as many as you like. And then when you generate that document, it goes and runs all those prompts for you.
Well, that looks really cool, and appreciate your showing it. Anything else you want to show us today?
My favorite thing about NeosAI is that once you are using Neos at the NeosAI tier, it's unlimited. There are no usage fees associated with our AI tools at all. It's all baked in. So create as many prompts as you want, as many tags as you want, run as many documents as you want. We want people to be able to take advantage of these tools to the best of their ability. So that's why we set it up that way.
And tell our listeners, tell our viewers where they can find out more about this.
You can always find out more about everything that we do at assemblysoftware.com.
Bryan, thanks so much for coming on the show today, and hope we can get you back in another 6 months and show us what you've done then.
I would love it, Bob. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate your time.
Good to see you. And that's it for this episode of How It Works. You can find the full series at directory.lawnext.com or on YouTube. This is Bob Ambrogi. Thanks for watching.